Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. Welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience. We are so glad to see your beautiful, shining faces. We want you to know your soul is welcome here, and we're going to sing about that.
That's right, your soul is welcome here. Are you ready to sing about it? I want to hear you loud and clear. Let's go. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In the right place, I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. Your souls are welcome. Your souls are welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time, right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Let me see your hands up. My soul is welcome here. Yeah. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Yeah. My soul is welcome. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Yeah.
Welcome and welcome, Paul Sanchez. Thank you for sharing the platform with me this morning.
It's good to share all the time. Thank you. Good morning. All right. We greet you in the name of all that is good, all that is sacred, and all that is holy. and in the warm and loving energy of our spiritual community. Spiritual Life Center honors all people worshiping in temples, mosques, churches, stone circles, and the beautiful temples of nature, because there is no place that God does not grace. And if it's your first time joining us, we especially welcome you, because we know that you are not here by accident. You are all here by and we are so glad you kept your appointment. Please silence your electronic devices and refrain from flash photography during the service.
Flash photography is not easy to say. Thank you, Paul.
Alliteration.
Let's take a moment to center ourselves in prayer as we move into this lovely service that we have today, knowing that we are called here to be together, whether it is online or on site, to share our consciousness, to share the love and the joy that is generated by this coming together. And we send our love and our compassion and our prayers to all of the people of the world, and especially in Europe and Ukraine, knowing that divine order prevails, whether we see it right now or not. And we know that the highest good is in store for everyone in all ways at all times. And we are so very grateful to be together today. And so it is. Amen. And we have a mission here at Spiritual Life Center, and that mission is, let's say it together, to transform lives as we love, serve, and remember. And we carry out that mission through the 5 unity principles. And you know, these principles are really good to know because they help us explain to other people what we do, and it also helps us integrate it into our own consciousness. So let's share these together. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experience. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God, and we must take action. And one of the actions we are taking right now, and up until April 3rd, is the Season for Nonviolence. And this is a time that is dedicated to remembering Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King. This happens between the assassination dates for both of those gentlemen. And we want to share with the congregation different ways to live in a nonviolent way. And so every day somebody comes up, every Sunday we have someone do a reading and then talk about their personal experience that relates to that reading, and we have David Briggs.
Thank you, Paul. Good morning. I thought I heard a response, but I'm not sure. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ah, yes, you are awake and alive. Thank you. Today, I write a loving note to someone else. I arise this morning and see the beauty in this day. I bring to mind someone that I care about. I remember that I am loving and I am loved. I appreciate the richness of my relationships and see the potential of the day inviting me to express life and love. So I make time to sit down, I take out my pen, and I write a note expressing my gratitude and joy. These words I share bring comfort to another. As I share this message of love and peace with someone else, I share it with myself. As I enrich another person's life, I enrich my own. Thank you, God, that I am loving and I am loved. Thank you for loving thoughts and words. Today, I share by writing a loving note to someone else. With the worsening humanitarian crisis in Ukraine, I've elected to connect that to my talk this morning. I ask you, please bear with me. Shortly after the hostilities began, my wife Lois and I were out on a walk in our neighborhood. And about a block away, we passed a house flying a pair of Ukrainian flags. Once home, I returned there to ask where we could also get one to show our solidarity. It turned out a young Ukrainian immigrant couple lived there. I explained my purpose. Without hesitation, the young woman grabbed the flag next to their door and presented it. saying, thanks to Google Translate, please take this one, adding, it is special. These flags were sent to us by my mother, who made them for us. We have since become friends. This is now our house, their house, and this is his selfie of me with Oleg and Yulia. Their flag at our house is how we show our support for Ukrainian freedom. While they are safe here, his sister and niece are now refugees in Poland, but her husband and Yulia's parents remain in Ukraine, their present status unknown. But we are all called to act. Our fifth unity principle tells us we must take action. Galatians 6:2 implores us, carry each other's burdens. We must know, said Mother Teresa, that we have been created for greater things, not just to be a number in the world. We have been created to love and to be loved. We see that happening. Throughout the free world and beyond, including Russia, people are following the precepts of Dr. King and Gandhi, of Jesus and Buddha and others, by peacefully protesting. So I write my loving note, not just to these worldwide peaceful protesters, but also to the entire Ukrainian nation, including those now refugees. As it were, I discovered, and I've chosen to use this anonymous but oh so wonderfully appropriate proverb. May your footsteps set you upon a lifetime journey of love. May you wake each day with his blessings and sleep each night in his keeping. And may you always walk in his tender care. Thank you.
Wow.
And I believe that our lovely Paula has an announcement. It's a very special announcement.
A special announcement. And David, how am I supposed to follow you? Thank you, David. Well, I personally feel that every Sunday is very special at SLC. And next Sunday is going to be an extra very special day because we are inviting to the platform John Gardner and Stephen Sullivan, both who collectively have served for over 40 years in the music ministry. And as things have shifted throughout the last couple of years, that has been reflected in the music ministry as well. And I'll let them speak on that themselves next week. But we're going to have some special music, and we're going to have a reception for them in the courtyard because we did not really get to properly say adios or see you later to them, either of them. So next week, be here or be square. See you then.
Thank you, Paula. And we're inviting to the stage Penny Clement, who has an update and some other wonderful things to share with you. Penny?
Thank you. Yes, it is. It is hard to just do board work when these wonderful speakers have come before me. But I do want to tell you and remind you that the window of opportunity is open right now. This is the time of year when some of our board members have completed their terms, and new board members are welcomed into this fabulous and powerful experience of serving SLC as a member of the Board of Trustees. I'm inviting all of you to look in your hearts and see if this is your time, your turn, to step up into this position It is a position that will change your life forever. It's a 3-year term, and the applications are available. The written application is out in the courtyard, or if you prefer online, there's an online application available too. And next Sunday, we're having an information session at 1 o'clock for those of you who would like to just learn more about what the board does and meet some of the board members. And you don't even have to be, rousing and intending to be on the board. You can come and visit and just find out what's going on. So we invite you to do that. But really, what I'm really inviting you to do is every single one of you has something to contribute. And if you feel in your heart that it is time to step up, please listen. Please respond. And please take the opportunity to grow spiritually and personally and powerfully at this time. We need you and we love you. Thank you. Now I'm putting my other hat on to give you information about the board. The most important thing that we really wanted to share with our whole community is our gratitude for your generosity. We have come through a very difficult period, and it's only because of you that we are still here, and I mean that sincerely. And it's because of you that we're continuing to grow. Because of you, we have received 85% of our budget through your generous giving. This is amazing. I mean, this is truly amazing. So all that we can do as a board is say thank you for being who you are, the powerful, transformed members of our community. And I have a few more bullet points just for those of you who want to know what's going on with us. We are continuing to improve our membership model to have a current list and contact information and a clearer idea of projected income. So we're trying to figure out who is still our members. We have a membership list that goes on for thousands of people over the years, and we're trying to get it down to the people who are coming, who are officially members and are involved with our whole conversation. And we're also constantly improving our own online resources, including making connections to the board easier. We are creating a wellness calling system to improve our connections with our members. We now have a society justice group meeting regularly, and we have added more podcasts. These are things that are going on in the church that the board has all supported and is happy to communicate to you. So with that, I'm all done, and I thank you for stepping up and saying yes if your heart is saying so.
Thank you, Penny. Thank you so much. Just answer that question, are you called? Remember, the way to find out what is happening at SLC is to go to our website. On site, you can peruse the bulletin board. Then go to the hub and sign up for an event.
Will our Board of Trustees and chaplains please stand? Our Board of Trustees wear the purple ribbons on their name badges, and they are here to guide, shape, and provide oversight for our community. And if you have any questions about SLC, if you're new, or if you've been here for 100 years and you still want to know what's going on, look one of these people up, and they can tell you everything they know, and maybe some more. And our chaplains wear the white stoles, and they are here to pray with us in times of joy as well as times of challenge. And they are here to sit and listen and pray with you. They will be in the courtyard after the service.
And we love to welcome our newcomers. So in a moment, we will ask those of you who are newcomers to raise your hand. There are many ways to connect at SLC, and you can get more information about small groups, events, and classes by filling out the online welcome card, or if you're here, if you are on site, you can raise your hand, fill out the card, and take it to the welcome table in the courtyard where you will receive a special gift and a warm welcome.
So if you're here for the very first time, please raise your hand. We are going to be offering you a purple ribbon, and we ask that you keep your hand, okay. We ask that you wear this on your left side near your heart so that we can greet you and offer you a heartfelt welcome and a hug. Thank you for joining us on your unique path today. Let's stand each other and welcome each other in the way that we are most comfortable.
All right, you guys ready to sing our group song? Please stay standing. It's kind of a fun tune. How Can I Serve Today by Ricky Byers. Can I serve today, sweet spirit? How can I serve today? Oh Lord, speak in ways that I will understand. If you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Oh, how can I serve today, sweet spirit? How can I serve today? Oh Lord, speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How can I love today, sweet spirit? How can I love today? Oh Lord, speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How must I share today, sweet spirit? Oh, how must I share today? Oh Lord, speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How must I serve today, sweet spirit? How must I serve today? Oh Lord, speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Where you lead me, and I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Please be seated.
Yes. Now I invite you to speak aloud together our vision statement.
Spiritual Life Center
is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions.
weaving ancient spiritual traditions
with emerging wisdom. We cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet. And now, in preparation for meditation, we will sing this beautiful chant. May all beings know love. May all beings know peace. No more pain.
I invite you to take a deep breath for a moment here. All beings know love. May all beings know peace. May all beings know love. May all beings know peace. No more pain. No more pain. May all beings know love. May all beings know peace. May all beings know love. May all beings know peace. No more pain, no more pain. No more pain. May all beings know love. May all beings know peace. May all beings know love. May all beings know peace. No more pain. No more pain. May all beings know love. May all beings know peace. Peace.
May all beings know love. May all beings know peace. Listen and remember. Native American poet John Trudell wrote, "I was listening to the voices of life chanting in unison. Carry on the struggle. Listen to us, impatient one. You must remember the gentleness of time. You are struggling to be who you are, struggling to learn when all you must do is remember." As we prepare for meditation, bring in the intention to listen and remember. This meditation can be used to develop understanding and compassion between yourself and a difficult person. But rather than do that, please direct this meditation toward your deepest self. Go within. I invite you to close your eyes. Begin by softening all the edges of your body, loosening any tension in your muscles, dropping your shoulders slightly, feet flat on the floor, and breathe. Feel your body relaxing. As you slow your thoughts, slow your breathing. Breathe longer and deeper. Connect to earth, breathing even slower. With another breath, feel your connection to Source and connect with your deepest self. Speaking lovingly and compassionately to your deepest self, allow these words to become your words. Just like me, I sometimes try so hard that I may get stuck in perfectionism. I get in my own way, and I can't seem to move forward. Then I remember that I am already whole, perfect, and complete. Just like me, I sometimes display an emotion like anger, and I beat myself up for expressing it. Then I remember that feelings are normal, and I lovingly forgive myself. Just like me, I sometimes feel alone, afraid, or unsure. Then I remember that God is in my life and everywhere present, and I know I can be my own best friend. Just like me, I have had painful memories, hurts, and betrayals. Then I remember that the reason I hurt so much is because I love so deeply. Listen and remember, I am whole. I am perfect. I am complete. I am forgiven. I love and am loved so very deeply. Listen and remember in the silence. Slowly bring your awareness back to the present moment. When you are ready, open your eyes. During the day, when you want to bring love and peace into your soul, you can always listen and remember you are whole, you are perfect, you are complete, you are forgiven, and you are loved. You are just like me. Namaste.
I tune into the experts on all the TV shows. I read the books that tell me all the things that I should know. I ask my friends what they think of the things I'm going through. When no one has the answer, I know what to do. I listen for the whisper deep down inside. I listen for the whisper, a strong but gentle guide, with 1,000 different voices ringing in my ears. I listen for the whisper that only the heart can hear. The other voices tell me that I'm not good enough to win the peace of mind they say that I'm not worthy of. And though they shout so loudly, sometimes I can hardly think. I know where to turn to find the source of my strength. I listen for the whisper deep down inside. I listen for the whisper, strong but gentle guide, with 1,000 different voices ringing in my ear. I listen for the whisper that only the heart can hear. The whisper holds the answer. It's up to me to ask. I wonder why so often that what I do is last. Is listen for the whisper deep down inside. I listen for the whisper, a strong but gentle guide, with 1,000 different voices ringing in my ear. I listen for the whisper that only the heart can. Listen for the whisper deep down inside. I listen for the whisper, a strong but gentle guide, with 1,000 different voices ringing in my ear. I listen for the whisper. Oh, I listen for the whisper that only the heart can.
Thank you for the whispers. I'm going to speak a little louder. Follow the message. 7:45 this morning, I was getting ready, and I was thinking about this talk, and I realized that there's a really big hole in this talk. And so I thought, well, this either means I have completely lost my mind, or Spirit is going to be telling us, giving us a different message, because what I realized is that I start out telling you one thing, and then I start telling you just the opposite towards the end. And I thought, well, maybe Spirit is trying to weave in here the idea or the fact that both things can be true at the same time. I'm really hoping that that's what it was. So I got this title from something that I came across, and it was probably as I scroll through all the what I try to be the funny stuff on Facebook. And what it said was, religion is following the messenger, spirituality is following the message. And as I started to write this talk, I realized there were a lot of ways to talk about this, so many angles. And in fact, I wrote one whole draft, and I probably kept about 3 lines out of the whole draft, because it was like, how do I find my way around this and talk about this, and what do I really want to say, and what does Spirit really want me to say? So it's been an interesting journey. So the first thing I did when I really am confused is I go to the dictionary. I mean, you think you know what a word means, and it's kind of interesting when you look up a word and you find, oh, really? So here are some of the definitions. A message is a communication left for someone who cannot be contacted directly. It's a significant theme, especially one that has political, social, or moral importance, or a divinely inspired communication from a prophet or a preacher. Now, I know that this blurb may well have been meant to paint religion in a negative way, but that's not where I want to go with this. That's not the point. Religions, of course, are usually started by someone, and they tend to come with structure and rules. A lot of people are here because of those other places with structures and rules. And yes, and most usually those structures and rules are set down by the founder or the closest followers of the founder, the messenger. And the message is then transmitted through whatever system is developed. And there are innumerable religions in the world. I suspect there's people who have written dissertations on the number of religions in the world, and tallied up, and I haven't gone and even looked for that because that's not the point here. The point is that there are so many different ways of relating to the divine. And the truth is, most religions offer some beautiful teachings, and humankind benefits from the message of love and support that comes out of these organizations. And also, many religions have something in common with each other. And a great example of this is the Golden Rule. There are at least 13 religions that have a version of do unto others as you would have them do unto you. In fact, we have a poster in the office. If you go right in the doors and right to your left before you even get up to the desk, there is a poster. It's a beautiful poster. You can get it online, in fact, but that has the different sayings, and they're phrased differently, and it's really interesting to see how that works. So they have that in common. Religion gives us a foundation. It's a way to anchor ourselves and to set on a path. And so what I take from this saying is that it can become, it's easy to become enthralled with the messenger to the point where you give up your power to another human. You follow the person, not the message they bring. And we often forget or don't understand that the messenger and the message are separate entities. The Sikh gurus knew this. Between 1469 and 1708, there were 10 gurus, and each one of them, during their tenure, contributed to a holy book. And then the last one, Guru Gobind Singh, declared that they didn't need another human guru, that the message was complete in the form of the holy book, which is now known as the Guru Granth Sahib. And that was him saying, look to the message. Do not give your power to any other person. Now, the Sikhs or Sikhs, they have a structure too, but they are built around the message. Now, sometimes a religion is very specifically built around one person, and you're told that if you don't believe in that person, you might end up in hell, and you might have an idea of who I'm talking about here. But the first New Thought class I took back in 19-something, I think that was like 76, it was Discover the Power Within You, based on Eric Butterworth's book of the same name. He hooked me by the 6th paragraph, the first line of the 6th paragraph of the introduction. And he writes that theologians are often preoccupied with the religion about Jesus. But he asks, what is the religion of Jesus? What is the message of Jesus? And that's how he turned that around. And when I said, that's what always made more sense to me was, the religion of Jesus as opposed to about him. And Butterworth also notes that the message of the Christian mystery seeks to teach one thing, the divinity of humankind. That's it. Jesus never set out to start a new religion. He just taught the truth. And granted, things got a little dramatic and out of hand. And that drama is part of why we probably get distracted from the actual message. And because of that turn of events, many people elevated Jesus above his message. And you know what? It's easy to do. This tendency to equate a person with their message is natural, I think. And we think that if some massive piece of wisdom comes out of a person's mouth, that they must have some in with the divine. Anyone who offers up something inspiring can be put up on a pedestal very, very quickly. Writers and speakers and musicians and anybody who is willing to be up in front of people saying stuff. But all of us are human, and we fall off that pedestal in a second. And when I was in high school, I was enamored with a certain writer, and I read everything he wrote with the exception of 2 books, and those were intentional. And I was really too young to understand everything that he wrote about, because there was a lot of social justice and stuff in it. But the way he wrote, his words kept me completely enthralled. And of course, I thought he was the most wonderful person on the planet because of the images he painted with language. And I wanted to meet him. I really wanted to meet him. And of course, that never happened. And I am really glad I didn't. After he died, I found out that he had a very, very serious drinking life. He dealt with depression and in general was just quite the grouch. His words were golden, but he wasn't because he was fully human. Meeting him in person might have ruined the message for me. And I'm grateful that I got to learn that lesson from a distance and didn't have to go through meeting someone that I admired and then be so very, very disappointed that he didn't live up to my ideal. From that day on, I never had a hero. Well, there is Freddie Mercury, but, you know. There are people I admire, but I admire them for the message they bring and for the courage that they show in bringing that message. I'm grateful, and I don't look too closely at their personal lives because, honestly, that's none of my business. I do have to admit that I love Emma Curtis Hopkins. She seems like such a courageous person. And I like how she moved from a very rigid teaching in Christian Science with Mary Baker Eddy with such grace. She had so many questions, and she just went off to get those answered. She was all about the message, and I love that. You know, she never started a church. She had a seminary for a while. Her mission was to teach others, and those others are the ones who started what we have today and call unity and religious science and others. But I also think she probably would have scared the willies out of me with her high consciousness. So I let it go, and I returned to her message. In thinking about the evolution of Emma Curtis Hopkins, I am reminded that something else can happen if a person gets completely focused on one person teaching one thing. The focus becomes narrow, and we have fewer choices. Well, the choices are still there, but we don't know because we can't see them. So there is the danger of thinking you know everything and never being open to learning something new. That is a danger when you get too focused on one person. Now, when I was in my mid-20s, I was about 25 when I started going to a Unity church. I went to the minister of that church. Now, I had been in the church for maybe 6 months, maybe not even that long. I just knew this is where I belonged. And I told him I wanted to be a minister. And he looked at me, and he said, okay. I, was ready with all of my reasons and explanations, and he just said, okay. Now, a while later, he came to me, and he said he wasn't going to recommend me to Unity Unity School for some political reasons. Church stuff was happening over here that I didn't know anything about. But his mother was a religious science minister, and she had a church where she was training ministers. She had moved from Unity to religious science so she could train ministers in the field. She didn't believe that you had to give up your whole life for a couple of years to do this. And he said I could go there. Now, he never mentioned the fact that I was very young, hadn't finished my college degree, and my life was pretty much a total and complete mess. Never said anything about that. He just said yes to me. So I was elated in many ways, but I spent about a week crying because I had to leave Unity. And I knew it was silly, but hey, I was 26, and I had finally found a place where I thought I might, fit or something. So so thank you for that. When I talked to my mentor and admitted this sadness, he said, Deborah, it's all the same thing. This man helped me in many ways, but this was the greatest gift he offered. I spent 3 years studying religious science, and then I moved to a different town, which had a different religious science church, so I couldn't continue with my ministerial year. And I wandered for 36 years before being ordained. I went to different churches. I went back to the Episcopal Church for a while. I tried Unity churches. I studied. I taught some classes along the way. But I was free because of this experience. I felt free to study anything and everything that came my way. I didn't get locked into one way of looking at things. And I learned to think about New Thought and metaphysics from many different angles. And I learned that each one of us relates to our spiritual experience in a unique way. And whatever we study must make sense to us to make it useful. I learned to listen to and talk with people in a way that helps them connect with their own way of doing God. Because we each have our own way of doing the divine. Spirituality and religion are intertwined. You can find spirituality almost anywhere. And sometimes you find it in the most surprising places. I can think of 2 religions, major religions, that seem to be rigid and unyielding and oppressive, but if you dig deep enough, you may well find the original spark that ignited them in the first place, where the pure light of spirit came in and said, let's do this. Here's the message. It's a matter of looking at the message itself, not the people running the joint. Now, the word or the word or idea of spiritual message can be loaded too. It's a spiritual message. We're being spiritual now. Well, what is a message, and where do messages come from? Where do we go to look for messages? Do we have to look for messages? Do we have to appeal to angels and guides? Can our spiritual message only come from the unseen? Well, no. I mean, I have been talking about people who bring spiritual messages this whole time. But what might be missed is that the people who deliver spiritual messages are not unusual. They're not super special. These people are you. All of us. You, me, we're all messengers. Now, have you ever had a day where you're out in your comings and goings and you heard the same thing 3 times? You're in the grocery store and someone makes a comment, and then later you're on the phone with a friend and they say something about the same thing, and then you open the mail or look online and there it is again. Have you experienced that? Yeah, so you think, this may be a message. Something I should pay attention to. And it turns out to be useful. How many messengers did you meet that day? How many of the messengers do you remember, or do you remember the message? A message is that whisper that guides you, tells you how to move forward, how to be in the world. And that whisper can come from anywhere. Yet our tendency is to look up and out because we grew up listening to the outer voices. Those are the voices that taught us how to behave and live in society. And of course, that was necessary. But in the process, we forgot something very important, and even I had to be reminded of this. Last week, I was chatting with someone in the courtyard, and I mentioned the topic for today. And this person's eyes lit up and twinkled, and he leaned over and he said, "Ah, yes, so many don't realize that the message is within us. We just need to dust it off." Wow, thank you, Bill, for that reminder. And of course, on some level, I know this, I knew this, I know it, we all do, you know it. But to have it stripped down bare like that, the message is always within us, we just need to dust it off. That just stopped me. And that's the thing, isn't it? The message we need is always here with us right now. But we don't always recognize it because we're looking outward. Yes, the message came from Bill, but I had to take it in and make it my own. Which, makes the point that the delivery system is very, very fluid. I'm standing here delivering a message. I'm using symbols that we call words to convey a certain idea. That idea is the truth that is our divinity is within. It's right where we left it. That is our core message. We talk about it every week in classes and podcasts and blogs. We use music, words, prayer. We even use silence. It is our message to you and to the world. And golly, doesn't that just sound a little bit like we're all looking to SLC for the message? It is another way of looking to the church for guidance. But while we have structure at SLC, we don't have rules. We don't tell you how to live your life or run your relationship with God or the divine or the force or whatever you call the one power. We don't tell you how to do it. We don't tell you what to do. It is the same truth always. And then there's one other delivery method for the spiritual message, and it may be the most fluid one of all. Yes, the message is human divinity is within. And yes, we are in the process of rediscovering it and dusting it off. But we are the messengers. We interact with each other. We share messages. And just like the day you heard something from 3 different people, 3 or 4 different times, or my conversation with Bill, messages are constantly being sent and received. We constantly help each other. We help each other even when at first glance the message isn't what we want to hear. But the way we interact with each other carries a message of its own. How I react or respond to something is a message to me and the other people around me. Who I am speaks louder than what I say. You may have heard that before. Knowing this, acting on this, I become my own message. I may not need to say anything. I can stand here and convey a variety of messages or information just by standing here. It might not in that moment even be one of inner divinity. But the more I think about the idea that I am my message and you are your message, the more I realize how important it is that we look away from the outer material world, go within, and dust off our message of inner divinity. If I am my own message, then I want to be a positive message. And I ask you, what kind of message are you? One of sorrow and pessimism, or one of joy and hope? Are you a message of fear or one of trust and courage? Think about this. Every message that is sent, every message that is received, has an effect in consciousness. From your consciousness into the collective consciousness. We cannot help but affect the collective consciousness. We may feel like it is tiny and small, but everything we think, and Reverend James will get to this next week with our words, is something, we are all part of the collective consciousness. We all contribute to it. There is no separation. The divine mystery of divinity is within you. You are the message. And I leave you now with my own version of the golden rule. Take a breath. Treat yourself like the precious divine being you are, and also treat others as a precious divine being they are. Be the message of light, love, and hope. And so it is. Reverend James will be with us next week. He's just taken a Sunday off here and there. And he's going to be talking about words matter, which will probably just flow right out of what I talked about today. And of course, we have this wonderful musical event that Paula is going to be offering us next week as well. And now you have an opportunity to support Spiritual Life Center and to help us continue to expand this consciousness and share it with not only people here in Sacramento, but across the world. And by supporting SLC, you not only help us, but as you keep your gifts in circulation, more comes back to you. And you can support SLC by texting SLC Love at 44321. You can go to our website and click on the donate button, or you can, of course, always mail in a check, whatever it is that works for you to help support our endeavor here at SLC. And so let us join together in saying our offering blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
I'm sending out a message to myself so that when I hear it coming back to me, I will know that I am fine. I will know that I am loved. Oh. I warn myself of the blackness in my chest. The razors in my heart would never rest. It's funny how you find just what you seek. Love is what you get when love is what you seek. I'm sending out a message to myself so that when I hear it coming back to me, I will know that I am fine. I will know that I am loved. Oh. I made every choice along the way. Each day I spent
Thank you. Thank you. And we turn our attention now to gratitude for the support that everyone offers SLC, knowing that what goes around circulates and increases in ways that we cannot even describe at this moment. And we bless the prayers in the prayer box, knowing that before the question is asked, the answer is here, and that divine order and divine love prevail in all situations at all times. And as these prayers are sent to Silent Unity to be prayed for another 30 days, we know that all of that divine love, power, presence permeates every request, and the highest and best manifests for everyone in all ways, at all times. And so it is. Let us join together in our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well. And now our peace song. It's been a beautiful day. May the joys of the world be with you.
Let's see if you guys know this song.
Just a castaway, an island lost at sea. Another lonely day, no one here but me. More loneliness than anyone could bear. Rescue me before I fall into despair. I'll send an SOS to the world. I'll send an SOS to the world. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets my message in a bottle. Woo! Message in a bottle. A year has passed since I wrote my note, but I should have known this from the start. Only hope can keep me together. Love can mend your life, or love can break your heart. I'll send an SOS to the world. I'll send an SOS to the world. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets my, I hope that someone gets my message in a bottle.
What does the message say?
Message in a bottle. Oh, message in a bottle. A message in a bottle. Walked out this morning and don't believe what I saw. 100 billion bottles washed up on the shore. Seems I'm not alone at being alone, no. 100 billion castaways are looking for a home. I'll send an SOS to the world. I'll send an SOS to the world. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets my message in a bottle. Oh, a message in a bottle. Oh, a message in a bottle. Yeah. Ooh, a message in a bottle. Yeah. Take it away for us. Let me hear that saxophone. All right, Russell, let me hear you play solo. What does the message say? Hey, sending out an SOS. Sending out an SOS. Sending out an SOS. Oh, sending out an SOS. Oh, sending out an SOS. 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 Have a great